Hey everyone, welcome back, BogMod here. This is the part of the game I have been waiting so long on. Finally, we're discussing how to actually resolve the curse. We still haven't gotten into motivations, why Erebonia is acting as it is.
If we don't act soon, the Republic will fall to the Empire's advance, drowning the entire nation in its curse. It would then only be a matter of time before the surrounding countries fell as well, until finally all of Zemuria is in the curse's grasp.
Cursey, cursey, curse.
All for the sake of reviving the ultimate being, the Great One.
Is that what it needs? Okay, so now we have the goal. We now know what they're doing, right? They want to do a super war to make everything be cursed. And by cursing everything, they can revive the Septarian, the Great One.
This we must avoid above all else. If this dreadful decision is the only chance we have of saving our world, then so be it.
Again, what's it gonna do once it's out? Once it's revived? How will you stop the curse? What is your long-term goal?
This whole catastrophe began in Erebonia.
Is the idea really that if you burned Erebonia to the ground, the curse would go away?
Though I can't personally agree to this plan, as a member of the Imperial family, I must allow it.
Can't stop it.
Your Highness.
This is the consensus we have reached.
Our decision is to defend ourselves from being attacked. It was a hard choice, but we made that decision.
I trust you understand now the reason we've gathered here.
There are a few things we must ask you now. Namely, if you accept the necessity of our plan. And furthermore, if we can count on your cooperation.
I'm sure you'd like some time to talk things over amongst yourselves. And with your other allies as well.
Again, I want to know what the long-term scope of this is. Like, alright, we've chosen to fight them so that we don't all get cursed. Step 2 being what? Do you have a plan to actually stop the curse? Do you just plan to fight this forever?
But as you can probably tell, that's time we just don't have.
Members of the Bracer Guild, Special Support Section, Class 7, and Thor's Military Academy as a whole.
I have a feeling they might be actually... I'm sad to say this, but I'm starting to get the feeling that this grand meeting between the most brilliant minds of the era are not actually going to touch on how to actually solve the problem.
We need your answers, here and now. How do you respond?
When it comes down to it, we, the Special Support Section, are just a single division of the CPD.
I don't know. Let's be honest. You guys are like an entire army division.
We're in no position to defy the will of a nation, let alone 4. We understand the severity of the situation.
You did defy the will of a nation. What's your backstory?
Be that as it may, we can't, in good faith, lend our aid to this cause. There has to be a better way to fix this mess we're in. And we won't back down until we figure out how.
There we are.
Not just to stop this war, but so that someday, Crossbell can take back its independence for good.
I see.
You can count the Bracer Guild out of this deal, too. We're the supporting gauntlet of the common people. Their security and protection will always come first.
That's literally what they're trying to do here with this war.
But at the same time, we understand that you have to do this. So instead, we'll make sure to get in touch with our headquarters in Le Mans to organize an evacuation plan for all the citizens. And in the meantime, we'll look for our own way to resolve this. Just like the SSS. That's the Bracer Guild's decision.
Estelle.
Ah.
With so many of us still missing, we can't claim to speak for Thors as a whole. But we can, at the very least, tell you our decision as Class 7. Become the foundation of the world. In a sense, those words have shaped our class from the very beginning. A war this big is certainly one way to keep the curse in check. We could be a new foundation afterwards. One built over ruins and destruction. But this curse is not absolute.
It's pretty absolute. It makes people fall down the stairs and die.
Though it sweeps across the nation, toying with our fate, there are still those who stand together to
It's
resist
just
it.
conveniently not absolute when you need it to not be.
We've seen as much with our very own eyes.
It has the power of plot, really, behind it. Making it as strong or weak as it needs to be, as the situation demands.
We need a plan to try and ensure the safety of the world as we know it. Mille Mirage can be that plan. But, like the Guild and the SSS, we choose to find a third path forward for ourselves.
So, they're like, well, it's a good plan. It's the only plan we got. But, yeah, we're gonna gamble.
That means dealing with any incidents brought about by the curse, as well as the rivalries. Whether or not that's even possible, I don't know. Time is running out on us even as we speak. Yet still, we'll continue to tread forward, step by step. Because we owe it to Prince Olivert to find that third path he always strove to take.
Reen.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
The path Prince Olivert would have wanted.
I see.
My goodness. The naivete of youth never fails to astound me. And yet, as history shows us, it is precisely the young and foolish who bring change to the world.
The same could be said of those not bound by duty or tradition. Come to think of it, Prince Olivert himself embodied every one of those qualities.
He most certainly did. And his spirit lives on in this next generation.
We have heard your convictions, clear and true. Operation Mille Mirage is already underway. But so long as you respect our position, we will respect yours in turn.
You're under no obligation to participate in our plan. That said, we'd appreciate your help wherever possible. That includes exchanging information, keeping civilians safe, and so on.
We certainly have more room to cooperate than Operation Jormungand does at the very least. You Bracers played a pivotal role in solving the incidents in Liberl, as did the Special Support Section in Crossbow. I eagerly await seeing what such seasoned heroes can bring to the table.
Thank you. We won't disappoint.
I don't know if I'd call us heroes exactly, but
You
we'll
were
help
definitely
out
heroes.
any way we can.
Except in the whole battle part.
Well, that suspense was killing me.
As grim as our circumstances are, we now know what our mission must be.
The same as it kind of always was.
Right.
Find a
We
third
gotta do
alternative.
everything we can to stop this war before it begins. And even if it does, we'll just have to find a way to end it.
Right. Our first course of action is figuring out exactly what we can accomplish right now as members of
This
Thors.
should have happened weeks of in-game time ago.
I imagine the rivalries will play a key role in that.
Agreed.
You're all pretty gung-ho about this, huh?
How are you guys so relentlessly positive about everything?
It really is the most annoying thing about them, isn't it?
I knew something bad was gonna happen.
Wait a sec.
It's Campanella!
I know that voice.
It's him!
Enforcer number 0 of Ouroboros.
Campanella, show yourself.
Man, do we have Ouroboros really outnumbered this time. Like,
Sounds
seriously
like things are
outnumbered.
coming along nicely over here. Quite the illustrious guest list you have here. I'm almost starstruck.
Indeed. It would seem the rumors weren't unfounded.
Belle! The new third Anguis of Ouroboros.
Lady Mildine, my greetings to you and all the leaders of the world gathered here today.
Hello.
I see a number of familiar faces and some new ones too. My, how delightful.
So, before we get too far into interrupting the plan, this has been a disappointing resolution. Because it's basically like, hey, we're going to do our thing. Because we don't have magical facts that open up alternative paths. So we're going to take what we can actually do and pursue it. Like nations actually do when another nation, you know, is planning an armed invasion. Right? We're going to muster armies and that sort of thing. And they're like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do something else. Don't know what. Just something else. You've always been in that position. That's always been what was going on. This somehow had to wait in any way. This hasn't changed. Ultimately, this whole meeting has changed nothing except to say something that really they could have just explained at the beginning of the act and skipped a whole lot of stuff. Without changing a single thing.
Daughter. I've heard the rumors of what you've become.
A member of an international terrorist organization. Gracious me. The audacity of this woman.
You have 1, 2, 3 former members of said organization with you right now. One of whom is probably you could still count as actively part of it. Looking at Duvalie. She hasn't left the organization. She's just like, my boss won't explain to me why she's doing the thing. So I'm gonna find out why she's doing the thing. And then if it's a good reason, I guess I'll join her again.
Whoa, he really called it, huh, Lady Belle?
Ha, you're one to talk.
Hey, this is some party you guys got going
Hi,
on.
Shirley.
Real swanky joint, too. Shame for you, Zephyr's here to crash it.
Shirley! You...
Boss! That means Zeno and Leo are here too, doesn't it?
Sure does. But hey, we're not done with the lineup just yet. Don't think things will go the same for you here as they did at the workshop.
Please excuse our intrusion.
Hi, Lecter.
Sharon.
No.
George! So you've come.
Lecter, it's really you.
In the flesh. Long time no see, ladies.
My lady?
Also, one aspect that never came up, which also I gotta say kind of disappointed about, no one's ever talked about the why. The ultimate being, quote unquote, has to be sought for being restored. Why do they want to restore that being? Why must it be stopped? Etc., etc.
You should have just kept the mask on, Angie.
If you're all quite finished, it's time I make the final introduction.
Hi, Cedric.
Your Highness.
We're gonna stomp you all good. Also, again, you guys are terribly outnumbered.
Cedric, why are you...
Ah, if it isn't my dear sister, Alvin. At Class 7, your little stunted leaves caused me no end of headaches.
You had it coming. That's what you get for getting Elise and Tio all wrapped up in your schemes.
Also, like, I'm surprised they still are letting him get away with as much as they had. He was literally going to choke Altina to death in cold-blooded murder.
That's simply how it works between us. You should understand this by now. The rivalries are no different. But this particular matter has been entrusted to me by Chancellor Osborne himself. Consider this a little congratulatory visit from us. to celebrate the commencement of Operation Meal Mirage.
So there's 8 of them, and there's like 50 of us.
Were we just hacked?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 21 at least. Sort of, what? 3 to 4 odds per.
Yep. They probably used the Society's astral code to infiltrate the system.
This isn't even the full crew on display.
Courtesy of Belle and the Fool, I'd assume.
Sounds like we're in for a fair bit of trouble then, huh?
Yeah, they're coming.
What the?
Damn, they brought Imperial warships.
Shocking! I mentioned that this was a dumb place to have your meeting. I didn't expect Ouroboros to be the group that interrupted it like they did. That one I didn't anticipate.
No, not quite.
Oh?
This is the bridge. We have an emergency. We've got 8 Crimson ships approaching on our 9.
Eight?
And with them, a 280 Arch-class airship.
Ouroboros' air fleet.
Damn. There's only one ship that friggin' massive.
Glorious?
You mean the one that appeared during the orbital shutdown? That's right. Ouroboros' pride and joy. The largest battleship in the history of mankind.
The Crimson Ark. The
Yeah, I got the name right. I like how they just call them a terrorist organization when they are a paramilitary organization that can overcome most nations, probably. At least it's a pretty fight. I can appreciate that at least. Oh, there. Here we go. No! Oh, it's going to count. This is the advanced warning predicted. What does that mean? They expected us. Of course they did. When have you ever had any sort of intelligence advantage over them? One prediction. Yeah, that... Of course. It wasn't much of a prediction, though. Their progress down the path might be deterred in a sense? No. It wouldn't. General Bright, I'm sorry. I gotta disagree with you on this one. One, they may not know who's here. It would be amazingly... actually, there was... What was it? There was a bit in... Star Trek DS9. Kind of covers this, right? One of the... I believe it was... Worf was fleeing with one of the Wayuns, which are very high-level ranking... No. They were with Odo. Odo's a changeling, which is, in this setting, like a god to this one faction in Star Trek, right? And they're being chased. And they're like, well, you know, if we just tell them we have one of their living gods on board, they won't shoot us. And they're like, yeah, but they've closed communications and are jamming, so we can't. They don't know we're here. And also, again, that's easily solved. Second of all, they're at war with one of the countries you're bordering, and the other they've already shown a willingness to violate their borders. All of that's... Also, they're literally planning to attack, Crossbelt, you know, like tomorrow, the day after? But I guess this is how the story wants to portray it. Oh yes, those... You expect their plan is to conquer every country. After they finish conquering Crossbelt. Yeah. The war. No, it wouldn't. It really wouldn't. It would do no such thing. They would just be like, you know what? Let's not. Let's have all ships block or ignore all attempts at communication, and blow them out of the sky. Just have fuel to the fire of war. They want that, apparently. Don't they? These are how you get the rivalries going. I feel like, again, they haven't considered what the antagonists want at all in this. And it's a problem. They're on Calvard, aren't they? Sure. I mean, they could do that with anything, regardless of who was here. With their own fleets, they could have done it. They could have pinned it on Calvard. They could have been like, Calvard violated the neutral airspace. We went here. They shot at us. We returned fire. Yada, yada, yada. Oh, well. Didn't you? Correct. And it was terribly obvious that putting ourselves on the border, the heavily patrolled border of Erebonia, would get their attention. Hangar. Groups. I'm sad though. No actual discussion on how to stop the curse came up. No discussion of motivations. We spent the entire act, and every little hint was basically nothing. There was nothing really to gain about this. Who do I want to bring? Let's bring you. Team A. Oh, let's look at the teams. Green, Lloyd. Oh, they really should have put Estelle on this. They could have had team protagonist instead of having Joshua. Crow. Oh, this is an all-male team. I wonder why they did that. There was that. Estelle leading the lady team. Apparently I can only bring one other person. Ooh, that's a tough call. You know, Emma had that amazing order. No, I want to count.
Now, shall we get going?
Best of luck, all of you. You guys be careful, okay?
Wait, what in the world's going on? Whatever it is, it looks like we got a real juicy scoop on our hands. Oh, no you don't.
I believe you all know what it is you must do.
Yeah.
We got this.
Just leave it to us.
Now then, shall we move out ourselves? We're currently under attack by Ouroboros' enhanced Jaegers and members of the Red Constellation.
The Red Constellation, huh? Gonna be a real pain in the ass, especially with the Blitz there.
Yeah, no kidding.
Gilbert's probably heading up the enhanced Jaegers. Not that he's anything to worry about. His archaisms might still give us some trouble, though.
Speak for yourself. I'll make sure that little errand boy regrets ever stepping foot in here.
Ash, Kurt, I'll be counting on you.
You got it!
Understood. We must stop His Highness.
Yuna, Altina, we're going to need your support as well.
Of course! Let's do this, Ellie!
I'll give it my best.
All right, guys. It's time to begin our joint operation.
I bet Meanwhile, Reed's like, wait a minute. That's what I'm supposed to say. Those are my lines.
Team A will go starboard. Team B, you head port.
Our current position is the rear side of the lower deck. Let's make our way up to the top deck. Take out any intruders you find along the way.
Right!
This will be the perfect chance to put our teamwork to the test, huh?
You've never worked together. It's a terrible time to put your teamwork to the test.
It's our time to shine, Reen. Let's go!
Right. Show me what you've got, Lloyd.
Teams. New teams merge. Okay. Well, I think this is... Hello. Can't do it yet. 1 of 3. Alright, we'll take our break here. And, I mean, you know, the music's epic at least. We're having a big giant air battle. So many of us, though. So many. And, you know, again, we've got at least 3 Ouroboros level forces of our own. Against their, what did they have? They had like 8 guys? 7, 8? So you could basically say that neutralizes. So they got like 5 for the rest of us to deal with. It's a weird scope. But yeah, like I said, I would have, we kind of knew this was coming. That the Meal Mirage was like, hey, let's get everyone to fight the Empire so that the Empire doesn't conquer everybody. And then it was. And it was a big, epic reveal. And then no one discussed how it would actually work in the long term. Or why anyone was doing anything. And of course, the heroes had the protagonist position of, we'll figure it out. Which, kind of annoying. Because they're trying to be like, well, you see, it's a giant war. You can't just be like, we'll hero protagonist this. People have to make choices and assemble armies and, you know, make all this sort of stuff. And they're like, yeah, but what if no? What if we didn't care about realism at all? So I'm impressed. Kind of mixed feelings about the whole thing. It was nice having these little character moments and interacting. That was neat. But the rest, the rest. Well, I'm gonna have a rest now. I'll see you all soon.